Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. He didn't leave much for Ma and me, except this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was just before he left, he went and named me Sue. Now, he must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy laughing, I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean, and my fists got hard and my wits got keen, roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars, kill that man that give me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. There in a saloon on a street of mud, sitting at a table, dealing stud, sat the dirty, mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had. Knew that scar in his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bad and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do?" "Now you're gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him once right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun, but I pulled mine first, and he sit there looking at me, and I saw him smile. And he said, "Son, this old world is rough, and if a man's going to make it, he's got to be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give her that name, and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And it's that name that helped to make you strong. Now, you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me, and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in the guts and the spit in your eye, because I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue." What could I do? Yeah, what could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called my pa and he called me his son. Came away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, and every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have me a son, I'm going to name him Bill or George or anything but Sue. I still hate that name.